Mark Carney and his new cabinet are going to be sworn in on Tuesday at Rideau Hall. That ceremony is set to take place at 10:30 a.m. As for what we know beyond that, Renee, frankly, little. Right now, there's a ton of speculation in this city about what Carney's new cabinet is going to look like, whether it's going to be larger than the one he selected just before the election. We do know, though, from his press conference this time last week, that he is committed to upholding gender parity, for example, and promising a more efficient cabinet. So we'll see what that means.
Prime Minister has vowed to have gender parity, much like his predecessor, Justin Trudeau. Can he succeed?
It is definitely possible, and gender parity is one of those considerations that Carney will have to make in addition to regional representation. And frankly, the results of the election have made that a bit easier for Carney to do numbers-wise than it was for Trudeau, because now the Liberals have more Liberal MPs across the country. Specifically, I'm thinking about some of the gains they made in Western Canada and in the prairies, being able to have a few people to choose from to bring into cabinet to represent those regions of the country. Gender parity also something he will be able to uphold based on the breakdown of MPs that they have elected, of course. There are some high-profile names. Natalie Provost comes to mind as one, Caroline DeRoche. These are new Liberal elected MPs that could find a way into cabinet. They are high-profile folks that Carney spent time with on the campaign trail.
Now, one to watch, Rachel, could be Chrystia Freeland. She was Justin Trudeau's deputy prime minister, and Donald Trump mentioned her in passing in his Oval Office comments the other day. Do we think she will still play a key role?
That is an excellent question, and I know one that a lot of folks are wondering. I do think what is worth noting here is in the last shuffle, Freeland was put in as internal trade minister. So she isn't expected to be one of the key players in any sort of interactions with Donald Trump going forward. And she's been given a pretty big order, Renee. Mark Carney has promised to essentially do away with interprovincial trade barriers by Canada Day, making a one economy instead of 13. So to change up the internal trade minister at this moment might be a challenging choice given that pressing deadline. So potentially because she has had those marching orders, that could see her stay in that position. But it's one of those big questions of how many of the faces from Trudeau's cabinet are going to stay in versus how much Mark Carney wants to signal to Canadians a total refresh and get kind of a new guard in there.